I remember showing it to a top makeup artist. Look at my cover. What do you think? And he says, "Oh, that's not makeup that people want. If you do makeup like that, you're not gonna work in this town." I started realizing how good I was at certain things. I'm like,
Yeah.
okay, watch me. I mean, I still have that. I'm 68 years old, and I'm like, yeah, watch me.
I'm Rachel Martin, and this is Wildcard, the game where cards control the conversation. My guest this week is cosmetics mogul Bobbi Brown. Bobbi Brown's career started because of two words. Why not? Why not cold call a bunch of famous makeup artists to get her first job? Why not make her own makeup? Why not launch a new company and become a TikTok star in her 60s? When Bobbi Brown asks why not, it's like she's daring someone to answer. Bobbi Brown, welcome to Wildcard.
Thank you. That was quite an introduction.
Well, I'm
I loved
really
it.
happy to get to do this. I watched you on the Today Show when you had your recurring segment for years, so this is a thrill for me.
Oh,
Even
thanks.
though I have a love-hate relationship with makeup, I will tell you straight up. But many women do. Many women do.
As do I.
Okay, let's go. First three cards. Here we go. Memories, 1, 2, or 3?
2.
2. What's a routine from your childhood that you miss?
Back to school. I always loved going back to school when I was a kid because my mother made sure I had new underwear, new clothes, and she wanted me to start the year right. And for her, it was having a new outfit.
Do you remember a specific back-to-school outfit that you
Oh, I do.
I
And
look good.
yeah, I don't think I looked good, but it was, yes, I had this dress. There were buttons sewn on it, and I loved it so much, she bought it for me in a couple colors.
So it's funny you should say that. We're talking in back-to-school season. Your kids are grown.
Yeah.
They don't go back to school anymore.
My granddaughter started pre-K this morning. I've already called her parents, but they didn't answer. Like, how did it go?
Right. You need a picture of that.
Yeah.
I love the new school year. I still have kids who are in school.
Oh.
But for me also, it's like January for me. I treat it as a New Year's opportunity
100%.
to like recommit to things. I have my own kind of August, September resolutions. It feels fresh and new. Is that part of it for you too?
Oh, 100%. You know, I wish I had time to clean out my closet just to get all organized. This year was a little bit crazy. I love the start of new anything.
We're the same, Bobbi Brown.
Okay.
That one was easy. 3 more. 1, 2, 3.
3.
3. How do you consciously try to emulate your parents?
By being a good person and also being creative and not afraid.
Can you tell me more about them? You write about them quite a bit in the book.
Yeah. My parents were 20 and 21 when I was born, and I don't think they had a clue how to raise kids. By the time they were 25, they had 3 kids. And my dad was in law school, became a lawyer, my mom a homemaker. All I remember from my growing up is I had a perfect, idyllic family. And my mother was always there. She cared about everything. She helped me with my homework. She helped me with projects. She helped me do my beauty things, you know, which was like polishing our nails or whatever little things we would do at home. I was really close to my mom when I was young. My dad was working, and when he came home from work, my mother would run around the house hysterical. Clean up, clean up. She wanted everything perfect when my dad walked in the house. That was chaos, I'm not gonna lie, because we were playing and we had to stop and clean up. But she wanted everything perfect for my dad. You know, I think she suffered from perfectionism. I have some of it, but I'm certainly not cleaning up by the time my husband comes home.
It was more than just a fixation on making everything perfect. I mean, your mom, you write about quite thoughtfully that your mom really struggled with mental health issues.
She did. The perfectionism was one part of her. It wasn't like extreme where there was something wrong, but she did suffer from mental illness that came out when I was older, when I was in middle school. But when I was in elementary school, you know, it was more fun and games, but she just had this idyllic thing that she wanted my dad to walk in with these 3 perfect kids, dinner on the table, everything clean. And, you know, we had to make sure it was done because my mother wasn't a strict mom. She was strict about that, though.
And did your dad understand how taxing that was for her? I mean, did he appreciate the
I
effort?
don't think so. Honestly, I
Yeah.
don't think so. It didn't matter for him. And he walked in and everything was nice. And, he threw his things down and, we hugged him. We were always happy to see him. And there
Mhm.
was some kind of playing before dinner. And then, we just had our dinner and bath. And, this was when I was younger. Things
Mhm.
changed as I got older. My parents split up at some point. My
Mhm.
mother had, mental illness. So things definitely changed. But I'm so lucky to have had, a much more stable environment. And I was older than my brother and sister were. So at least
Mhm.
I think I got the best of them, or at
Mhm.
least I have been able to appreciate and take the best of them.
Yeah. Yeah. And it sounds like even though that was a frenetic time, we gotta get the house ready, dad's
Right.
coming home, and this was her job. I mean, your
Yeah.
parents had very traditional gender roles,
Right.
so this is what she took pride in.
Mm-hmm.
But it's obvious to see the through line for what you ended up doing. I mean, beauty, but aesthetics more broadly, like making things appealing to the
Right.
eye is what you ended up doing.
Which is really ironic. And as a makeup artist, I would even do shoots in like famous people's homes where Architectural Digest or someone was shooting it. And so I was also surrounded with these amazing, designers and prop stylists. So I kind of take that, personal. And I walk into my house, everything has to look a certain way. It's a very visual thing. It's really
Mhm.
important to me and it kind of settles me down. And I'm part of it is from my mom and part of it is just working with a lot of professionals with really trained eyes.
Mhm. I am curious, do you remember the first time you put makeup on, and was your mom present for that?
Oh, 100%. I mean, my mother always let me play with her makeup. And her famous story was she said she gave me a box of her old makeup and a pad of paper and said, go draw me a picture. And when she came upstairs, I didn't touch the paper, but my face was covered. And she said, I knew you were going to be a makeup artist. That was her story. I don't know if that's true or not, but that was a story she always told.
Ah, that's a good one. Okay. 3 more cards in this round.
Well, I haven't
1,
picked
2, or
I
3?
haven't picked one yet, so I'm going one.
1. What's a piece of advice you were smart to ignore?
Oh, that no one needs another makeup company. When I told someone I was going to start a makeup company, this guy
Uh-huh,
said the world doesn't need another cosmetics company,
uh-huh.
and he could have been right, but I proved him wrong. I mean, it
Yeah,
wasn't when I started Bobbi Brown, there were not brands on the market that weren't Estee Lauder, Lancome,
yeah,
Chanel. There was not like young, now they call it indie brands. So
yeah.
I was a young indie brand before there was a name for it.
How young were you at the time?
I was about 34, 33. I actually started doing a line of lipsticks when I had my first baby. So I was 32 when my first baby was born. So I would be on the phone with editors giving tips how to wear makeup and look fabulous as my newborn baby was throwing up on top of me and trying to pretend I didn't have a baby, right? That I was just
Oh,
this
right,
fabulous
yeah,
person,
right.
who I
That
got
was a
it
time when you
right.
didn't advertise motherhood.
No.
No, no, no.
And I was living in the suburbs of New Jersey. People didn't do that. Why would Vogue
Mhm.
write about, someone in the living in the suburbs? So I
Yeah.
didn't make a big deal about it. And I'll never forget, slowly I started talking about what it's like to be a working mom and how I put makeup on as a working mom. And those
Mhm.
things pretty much started the popularity of the first brand because there was other commuting mothers that were trying to get it together. It wasn't, I think I had something to do with changing the narrative that it wasn't all about, fabulosity all the time.
Yeah,
It was real life. And so
yeah.
that's how really I marketed my first company.
And part of your origin story is that you were making makeup that wasn't I mean, you had all this experience working in high fashion and doing these amazing elaborate photo shoots with lots of makeup where you focus on the makeup
Mm.
and your whole thing was like, what if we just didn't do that? What if we just like minimized it? Which is was revolutionary at the time. Now we take it for granted because everyone is like natural, natural, natural. But it was a huge deal when you did that.
Yeah, I remember there was a cover of a magazine I did where I don't know even what got into me. No one discussed it. I just did her makeup. I put a pencil inside her eye and I took a bronzer and I kind of put it all over her face, on her lips, on her cheeks, on her eyes, gave her some mascara. And oh my God, she looks so pretty. I mean, this girl must have been 19 years old.
Right.
And they shot the picture. Oh, Bobbi, it's so beautiful. And it became a cover. And I was like thrilled. And I remember showing it to a top makeup artist. Look at my cover. What do you think? And he says, "Oh, that's not makeup that people want. If you do makeup like that, you're not gonna work in this town."
Hmm.
But I kept doing it.
We should say men. I mean, there's a lot of
Men.
men telling
Yes.
you
Right.
how to do
Right.
makeup.
Men in
and what
suits.
women
Men
want.
in
Men
really
in suits telling
men
you.
in really nice suits. Yeah. There was token women, but they were mostly men. There were token women, and there was a lot of women, and a lot of men that just said yes. Yes. I was kind of the one that said, "No, I don't think that's right."
Let's talk more about that in the context of your new book. Congratulations. You wrote in the acknowledgments that you think everybody should do it. Like, it's a great thing to be able
It,
to sit and write your story. What was gratifying about it?
well, first of all, it's really cathartic because I don't go to therapy. I have in my life, but I don't. And just understanding, how the roads are all connected and what I learned from Papa Sam and what I learned from Leonard Lauder and how I put them together and all these things. It was very, therapeutic. But also telling this story, even if, and everyone's got a story. All of my friends who have either started companies or worked for companies or been artists, you don't just wake up and become a 50-year-old person or a 60-year-old person. There's ways to get there. And I think it's a nice gift to be able to give your kids or
Yeah.
grandkids.
Yeah. I loved the book. I found it really inspiring how you built this huge global brand. But it seemed to me that you have sort of subverted your entire industry to some degree by saying, you know, you don't actually need makeup. And like you're beautiful as you are. How do those two things coexist for you? You're
Well,
beautiful as you are, but also buy my bronzer.
okay, well, first of all, I didn't intentionally try to subvert the
Yeah.
industry. I just had these beliefs, and it was like, oh, this makes such sense to me. How
Yeah.
about you find a foundation that is the color of your skin? I mean, I'm sorry, that wasn't a known thing. People would do this, you gotta wear something to correct the color of your skin. No, you need a foundation the color of your
Ah.
skin. How about a blush? You need a blush that is the color of your cheeks when you pinch them. That's like your natural colors. You need a lipstick that is the color of your lips. So those tips, I thought, made people look better. And I never
Mhm.
said don't wear makeup, ever. I mean, ever, ever, because there's many days I don't wear makeup. And when I look in the mirror, I'm like, oh my God, I need something. And whether it's just on my cheeks or under my eyes, I look and feel so much better when I have
Mhm.
something on.
Mhm.
So I think looking like yourself, first of all, your makeup looks great.
My makeup?
Yes, yes. Did you do it yourself or did someone do it?
Yes, I did, Bobbi
Yeah,
Brown.
yeah,
I did spend
yeah.
an extra 5 minutes
Okay.
today. I was
But
a little
but
insecure because I
yeah.
was talking to you.
Okay, you did it because often when makeup artists do people's makeup, they don't have the natural touch. And
Mhm.
sometimes, and I think people could do a better job doing themselves if they know how to do it. Unless
Yeah.
it's a makeup artist that understands. Not all makeup artists understands how to make people look, you know, glowy and vibrant. Yeah.
So, last question, we'll get back to the game. As you said, you're not one for therapy, but writing the book itself was this cathartic
Yeah.
experience. It is interesting when you write a life, when you write a memoir. I haven't done it, but I know many people who have. You start to, in retrospect, see patterns, or you learn something about yourself that you may not have realized.
Right.
did that happen for you? Was there a specific thing you learned about yourself that maybe you didn't understand until you saw it all laid out like that?
I mean, I think there was a lot of things, certainly like looking back at my Papa Sam, who came from Russia to this country, not
This was your
knowing
grandfather.
my grandfather, not knowing anyone, not, having any help. And he just kind of figured things out along the way and tried things that weren't, you know, like traditional. But I learned about myself that, oh, I kind of do things similar to Papa Sam. And I was very much like his wife, my grandmother, Nana. She had the warm, fuzzy, caring, her family was everything. So I'm kind of a combination of both of those guys, and then it's like a recipe. Then you add my mom, and then you add my dad in there, and I see those things. And then I met my husband, and then he kind of adapted my recipe in a good way.
Yeah. It's kind of thrilling, right? When you look back and you're like, oh, genes are strong.
Yeah.
And you see them play out and then they manifest in you and you're like, oh, I am a combination of all these people who I loved.
Right.
And that's like such a lovely thing.
And I somehow overcompensated by taking things a different way and using my grit to do things, because I could have been different, right? I could have stayed living in Chicago suburbs and got married and been a suburban housewife. I could have been, but I didn't. And I kind of, and a lot of
Took
it
it
is
in your own direction.
I did, and a lot of it is because my dad just always said, you could do this. He wanted me to go to college in Spain. I was like, why would I want to go to college in Spain and not, become a American college student? But he always wanted me to experience the greater things in life.
He was bold.
Yeah,
He was bold.
he was bold.
Yeah.
He still is, and he's still there watching me, and he's, I think he's amazed, and he always says, you're not done.
That's a lovely thing. Congrats again on the book. You feel like playing more game?
Sure.
Okay, so this is round 2. Insights. This round is about insights. 1, 2, or 3?
2.
2. Has competition done more to help you or hurt you?
Definitely help. I love competition. Yeah. It keeps you on your toes. It keeps you on your toes. I'm smart enough to not copy what other people are doing, because that just makes you look like you're a loser. But but I find that competition just makes you be better. And I'm a little, I don't know what the word is. I do think what I do is better when it comes to makeup. My son asked me to not keep naming things the best. Like, we have the best eyeshadow, the best brown pencil. He's like, Mom, you gotta stop. I said, okay.
It's like the breaking news banner on a cable news channel. When everything becomes breaking news, then nothing is breaking news.
No, it's
when everything is the best lipstick, then nothing is the best.
Right. And if it's not the best, I'm going to reformulate it.
Was that your response? Like, no, it must be.
I mean, I still believe that our brown pencil is the best brown pencil I ever used. It's not complicated, guys. It's a brown pencil, but it's really good because there's not red in it. There's not orange. It's not dry. It's not greasy. It's the best brown pencil.
Were you always competitive? Like, does that go back to
I don't think so, because
childhood?
I couldn't be competitive in sports. I wasn't very good. I couldn't be competitive with my friends. So I don't think I've always been competitive. I think I started realizing how good I was at certain things, and that I was, I had the ability to get better, and then I got competitive. I'm like, okay, watch me. I mean, I still have that. I'm 68 years old, and I'm like, yeah, watch me. And sometimes it's to myself. Sometimes it's to my husband or my son. Other times, it's to the world.
One more in this round. 1, 2, or 3?
3.
3. What have you found surprising about getting older?
The texture of your skin. I'm like, whoa.
Tell me about it.
Whoa. But, just like I'm competitive, I'm like, all right, what can I do that's going to make a difference? So there's hydration, there's moisture, Now there are like, lasers and all sorts of things. I'm like, I'm not going down easy. I'm sorry. I'm not going down easy. And guess what?
But Bobbi, you're beautiful just as you
I,
are.
I am, but my skin isn't. So, but you know what? I wear shorts all the time. I don't wear them in public. I don't wear
Yeah.
sleeveless, but I never did wear sleeveless.
Yeah.
So I have a trainer. I do weights to keep strong. And it's funny, I haven't done it for a couple of weeks and I'm like, all right, I got to get back in those heavy, heavy weights. I take creatine because my
Mm-hmm.
trainer told me how it builds muscle. So honestly, the biggest surprise that no one tells you are I don't feel my age and I
Yeah.
don't think I look my age all the
Right.
time, but the changes that happen naturally are like a little surprising.
But I'm genuinely interested because you are who you are and you work where you work. You can't win this race.
No.
Like age does it we're all going to die. We're all going to get
Yeah.
really old.
Right.
Hopefully. That's
Yeah.
the best case scenario
Yeah,
is
but
that we
hopefully
all
we'll
get
get
really old.
old better than some people,
Mm.
right? I mean, no, but
Then
it's
some people.
true. Than other people.
Yeah.
Look,
Mhm.
because my son was a strength and conditioning coach, I really learned and understood how training my body, not like a crazy athlete, but someone that, is conditioned to be able to get up off the floor, to get up out of a low chair, to put my suitcase on top of
Oh
something.
yeah.
I mean,
No,
all
preach
of
all day
those
long about
things.
strength. Yeah, for
Right.
sure.
It's strength and mobility. Those are really
Yeah.
important. So yeah, muscles are important, but all those other things are even more important.
So I hear you saying there are things I can work on as a person and as a woman getting
Yes.
older. There are
Yeah.
things I can do. Are there things about the aging process that you have just accepted as
Yes.
inevitable and you're okay with them?
Yes. And
What are
that's
those?
the
What are those
lines
things?
in my face.
Yeah.
Yeah. The lines in my face. Because yes, I can go get Botox.
Mm-hmm.
I don't want to.
Mm-hmm.
I can do soft wave and lasers that tighten your jawline. Yes, I will
Mm-hmm.
do those. There
Mm-hmm.
are things. And when my skin looks dehydrated, I could put a mask on it. I could, exfoliate. I could do those things. So there's just knowing what you can change, but other things you just have to accept.
Okay. Last round. This is beliefs. This is
Okay.
the beliefs round. Here we go. 1, 2, or 3.
2.
2. We're just going right for it. What's the most religious thing about you?
I celebrate all the holidays.
You do.
I celebrate Hanukkah, Christmas, Diwali,
Oh, all of them.
I celebrate all of them. Not
I
from
thought you
a
were going to say you celebrate, just the holidays in your religious tradition.
No, I celebrate all of them. I'm very lucky. I have an Indian daughter-in-law.
Uh-huh.
I have, um, another daughter-in-law who's, I don't have a Jewish daughter-in-law, put it that way. And so I'm lucky I get these other cultures.
Yeah.
And, I'm one of these people that likes things different. I find it interesting. I don't need to be around people that are like me. And, I actually really like to spend time with people who have incredibly different political beliefs than I do. I have
Mhm.
no problem with it. I think you're allowed to have people in your life that have different beliefs and it's okay to talk about them.
Yeah. Was yours a religious family growing up?
Not really. I mean, my brother was bar mitzvahed, but the girls were not.
Mhm.
And we went to, the high holidays once a year or
Mhm.
twice a year, the two
Mhm.
different, holidays. And we traditionally went to our aunts and our cousins for all the holidays. And that
Mhm.
was always it. And then, I always just loved Christmas. How do you not love Christmas? So, we had, you
Did you
know,
have a Christmas tree growing up?
not growing up, but my husband and I did when my kids were little. And, one of my sons actually ridiculed us for it. So we stopped, but then we got a dog.
Because he didn't think it was Jewish.
Well,
You
yeah, he
can't do
was
that.
young and he said, Mom, and so we didn't do it. And then we got a
Right.
dog who wasn't Jewish. So then we started, getting Christmas trees again to celebrate our dog. So, yes.
Right. I mean, it's not our fault. It's what the
Right.
dog wants.
Yeah.
What are we going to do?
And I just, I look, I always did Easter eggs for my kids.
Mm-hmm.
But then we had people over for Passover. So I hated spending the time reading the book. So we got the kids' version. And everything I learned about Passover and Hanukkah was from the Rugrats. The
TV show.
Rugrats, so educational.
So it sounds you appreciate the act of bringing your family together and having an excuse to be with
Right.
them and celebrate.
Right.
But you have not needed to assign to those holidays any kind of religious grounding, religious meaning.
No, my religion is being a good, caring, nice person. That's what I believe in.
Mhm.
And
you don't need a theology to tell you that.
I don't.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah. And my dream is to be in the Hanukkah song with Adam Sandler, who I recently met and told him that's my dream. So if he ever does another Hanukkah song, that's my dream.
You just want to be a reference. You don't want to do a duet with. You don't want to
no,
sing.
I can't sing. As a matter of fact, not only can I not sing, but I thought I could until my 5th grade music teacher during practice came over to me and she said, "Come here." And I thought she was going to tell me how great I was. She said, "Tonight, could you mouth the words?"
Shut up. She did not.
Isn't that awful? I
That
still
is
can't sing Happy
horrible.
Birthday to my
No,
kids.
because you were traumatized.
I was traumatized.
Because
That
that
was
teacher
trauma.
killed your voice.
That was trauma. Yeah.
I feel really sad about that because
Yeah.
I think everybody has a song in their heart,
Yeah.
and we should not judge people's voices because it's like a natural, beautiful thing to do.
Right.
Damn that person. Now I want you to sing it with Adam Sandler. Okay, 3 more cards. 1, 2, or 3.
All right. Well, I'm going to do 3 because it's my favorite number.
Okay. When do you feel connected to the people you've lost?
On holidays, on their birthdays, on holidays. Yeah. And certainly in this book, I feel, I have been having urges to call my mom.
Yeah, that's a strong one,
Yeah.
isn't it?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I'm like, oh, I should call my mom. And I'm like, I can't.
Yeah.
Right?
Or like a thing will come up. Still, my mom's been gone like 15 years.
Wow.
And a specific thing will happen. A very small thing, right? Like my kid does well at something, or there's something about her family that I've forgotten.
Right.
Like a detail, like, oh, right. Was your grandma, did she live in Kansas or Oklahoma?
Right.
And I'm like, oh, right. And it's so funny how it still happens so many years.
And it's funny,
later.
mine's always about guilt. Like I feel guilty that, oh my God, I haven't talked to her in a while.
Oh,
interesting. Right? Because I'm like, not guilt, but I was always so busy with my kids and with work. I'm like, and I would call my mom in the car just to make sure I kept in touch.
Yeah. She was proud of you.
She was really proud of me. Yeah. She was really proud of me. She really wanted me to open a Bobbi Brown store in her retirement community.
You didn't do it.
I did not do it. No. And then I got she got a little bit of dementia, at the end of her life, and it took her a while to understand that I wasn't with Bobbi Brown anymore and I was with Jones Road.
Right.
So
your kids got to know your mom, right?
my kids got to know my mom, but they, unfortunately they knew my mom not in a healthy way. She was struggling. So, but
do you work to fill in the blanks of things you want them to know about these people?
Well, now they got to read the book now.
Oh, good one.
And then they could ask questions. No, my kids all love photos, and I have this incredible photo archive of every, part of my life. And so, on Mother's Day, I always sit down with my kids and have them look at the old photo albums.
That's a good one. You're good at that? You did them yourself?
Oh, yeah, I'm a nutcase, yeah. And now I have a digital archive that I am I've got it all figured out. Even what I'm shooting now, like you'll be in my archive. It'll be under.
I can't wait for your grandkids to be like, and this is Rachel Martin from NBR.
No, but I took a picture of your poster, and I'm going to take a picture of you right now, actually.
Oh my God.
No, I'm telling you.
Wait. I'm going to be in like your Okay, now I'm
Smile.
nervous.
No, because so when I'm looking
Did I
for
do my
some,
cheesy smile?
no,
I did
you
my
look
cheesy
gorgeous.
smile.
When I look for something, I'm like, oh right, during the Still Bobby book tour, when I went on NPR, so I've taught my assistant, it's got to be in a folder. You know, I go like this because it's on Dropbox, and I'll look up Still Bobby, and then I'll look at NPR. You know, there'll be CBS, there'll be NPR. Then I know exactly
Wow.
where a picture is. If like someone needs a picture, I know exactly where it is.
Oh my God, you're like the most organized person I've ever met in my life.
Only with this. I'm like someone once called me Rain Man. Only with
Yeah.
these images. And I'm kind of like that with my clothes. But if you literally walk into my bedroom on any given day, it's a mess. Like literally, you know,
Does
from
a mess for you mean like, oh my God, there's like one dress
oh no,
laying askew
my
on the
bed's
carpet?
not made, or I have someone that cleans my house twice a week. I mean,
Yeah.
truthfully, and those days when I come home, I'm so happy because who has time to make everything look perfect?
I mean, I don't. This is the
Right.
whole thing.
Yeah.
Perfection is a lie.
Yes.
Okay, last question. 1, 2, or 3?
3.
3. What truth guides your life more than any other?
That's exactly it. Truth. It's not easy hearing or telling the truth, but it's really important.
Wow, that's a great answer.
Yeah. Yeah, it is. And I want people to tell me the truth. If I ask you if you like something, I need to know, right?
Mhm.
Like, tell me the truth. Like, so many people are afraid to tell someone something that maybe is not easy to hear.
Mhm. It makes you uncomfortable or challenges
And
your
it's also a
preconceptions.
waste of time. Like, just tell me the truth so we can get on with it.
Right. Right. We end the show the same way every time, with a trip in our memory time machine.
Hmm.
You pick one moment from your past to revisit. It's not a moment you would change anything about. It's just a moment you would like to linger in a little longer. Which moment do you choose?
It's a tough one because there's 3 births and a wedding.
Yeah, that's right.
And those are my 3 favorite moments in life. My 3 children's births and my wedding to my husband. So since I can't choose one of those 3, I'm going to choose
There you go.
my wedding.
Okay. Tell me a moment in the
Oh,
wedding.
there's so many moments.
I'm gonna
I remember,
push
and
you to
there is
get
a picture,
granular.
and there's a picture of it. My first dance with my husband. First of all, I wore a white wedding dress mini. And my legs were good then.
Mini!
I wore
Mhm.
it was did not touch my knees. It wasn't like micro mini, but it did not touch my knees. I did not wear stockings, which apparently all the aunts went, she's not wearing stockings. I wore white, really cheap shoes because I knew they were going to go in the grass and get ruined. So I wore these,
Very practical.
disposable shoes.
Yeah.
And the first dance, and my husband and I have a picture of us, our noses touching. It's still one of my favorite photos. I know exactly where it is in my Dropbox. And I just never felt more in love and more that this is where I was supposed to be.
Hmm. It's been a long partnership.
37 years. And I love my husband to pieces. He pisses me off regularly. There's like, tough as nails and, different styles. I aggravate him. He thinks I don't speak in full sentences. I don't. I don't understand why he doesn't understand what I'm saying. Duh. But and somehow it seems to work.
Well, it's been such a pleasure to talk with you. Still Bobby is the name of Bobbi Brown's new memoir. It's out September 23rd. Thank you for doing this.
Thank you for having me.
If you like this episode, and I hope you did, you can drop us a comment and let us know. We love hearing from you, truly. You can also like the video and subscribe to the channel to get more from Wildcard.